magnificent rebirth, a birth of the heart, man. It's like we take the spaceship love and turn it into the starship love, because that's what it already is. Contained inside of the mothership love, which surrounds us like a great big old planetarium, don't you see, at 360 degrees all around us, man. And if that's our premise, well, here's where we got the action in today, Jackson. We just get some real love out to play, yes, indeedy, and smooth everything out, wouldn't you say? And end all the conflict in this world right now by what? Doing the Anhal thing inside, bringing it up for a ride inside and saying, okay, why you so conflicted today? What's feeling bad about now? Damn. Gotta be good, man. You want to live in this neighborhood. Well, what's good? Well, it's kind of like being like Dorothy and Toto, man. You know, the dog knows, and Dorothy just goes along with the flow. And one day she picks up a bucket of water to put out a fire that some wicked person set. And the wickedness just dissolves away right before their eyes, man. Then Rosalie's got something to celebrate, and Dorothy's got the broom. She can go back to old Humbug and find the real magic in life that she's been having all along, but didn't even know, man. Thought she was going with a bummer of a flow, getting taken away by a tornado and deposited there in Munchkin land, and them little things just didn't seem to understand, but they wished her well on her way and follow the yellow brick road. Well, it's the highway of life we're on now, man. Yellow brick road, hell, that's so out of fashion, man. Shit! They didn't even have it in the whiz, did they? Hey, here's saluting you all the way around. From the old eternal clown, you betcha, the one that's always hanging around somewhere in the background. Oh, always, man. And influencing things, too, and chuckling about it as he does so, and she does so, too. Right here inside of this one heart of mine. Oh, yeah, you got that divine little coyote thing we call Grandpa Coyote, don't you know? Here on the Hazy Radio Network with your host, the most, you betcha, and the Coyote Medicine Show, in the flow. I love you so. Oh, that's good coffee. Don't you know, babies, with this kind of love radiating to you from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. And just wait till I gain a little more elevation, babies. Just wait till we get back in that starship love. And the mothership love all around us dissolving away so we can see our true reality. And we realize it ain't a starship at all, or a spaceship, or a mothership. It's just love in motion. Yeah, baby. That's all it boils down to. This happy, sweet, simple love in motion. Now, baby can't help it if it shits its diaper once in a while now, can it? Well, guess what, baby? Ain't doing that no more. We're a little bit older than that, don't you know? By the way, have you noticed time's flow? It's weird right now, man. It just seems to go, go, go. You put your head down 1 second, and 10 minutes go by. Put your head down another second, and 35 days have gone away. And you say, what the hell? And baby, and then this morning I'm noticing we're past, June 20, right? By 8 days, right? Seems to me like the sun's still coming up a little earlier than it was, man. Like it ain't quite hit that turn cycle yet, But maybe that's just some suppositional presence I got in my heart, but I'm looking at it and say, I swear to goodness it's getting light 20 minutes earlier today than it did on the 20th. Now I've noticed the repositioning of the stars and the places the sun goes up and the moon goes down, etc. I mean, definitely the whole earth's been bending to the north now, hasn't she? Or something like that. It's twisted, man, but it's untwisted. You know how we talked about how the whole world's upside down? Well, this is getting it right side up, babies. And it's in process, and this is where you know that it's really happening, don't you know? Because time don't seem to fit its flow no more, neither does anything else. Everything seems a little out of place. It really does. I mean, this shouldn't be that way, that shouldn't be that way. And oh my God, that shouldn't be that way, see? You look at a highway sign and it says, exit and you look at it next time it says, "Do not exit," or something like that. It changes right before your very eye. You're driving down a highway and it kind of dissolves away, and the next thing you know, you're flying along in a UFO, or, you know, the spaceship love with Grandpa at the helm, man. You know, like, how come I can't drive? Because it's Grandpa's ship, man. Get out of my way. I'm the captain when you say, "Oh, no." Hell, if you want to fly, babies, get up here and flow, man. I'm tired. I'll let you go. Besides that, the party's on back in, just beyond the galley and the great dining hall. Oh, babies, you want to get there. This is the magic of everywhere coming together inside of that starship love, back there in that dining hall. The grand dining hall got all the chairs and tables out of the way. We got a band. In fact, we got every band there ever was, man, just like we do here at the spaceship love. We took the green room with us as we became that starship love, and then the mothership love, and then, well, just love, man. That's the universal life, see. When we realize that, then we're getting in that gracious place where we can be far more gracious than we've ever been, and the reality around us gets quite gracious too. And it don't ever have no conflict with you, not like it has before. Excuse me for the hillbilly talk, but that's the way it goes, man. Never know. Never are, never will be no more. Because we got in that flow. We realized we've held all these designations. This is a spaceship. This is a starship. This is a mothership. This is a paradigm. This is a planetarium terrarium. Quite divine. No, that's all dissolving away. The definitions no longer play. You see, it's all just simple, sweet, pure love in motion. Finds itself quite entertaining too, man. I'm telling you. Somehow, man, this movie's coming through this real life. We'll realize we've all been just taking a place here and trying to fill it in as best we can. And trying to fit up and, do our service to the man. Well, screw all that. Let's do our service to the human, because that's what we're doing already. By what? Going steady with our ever-loving heart inside. The baby child that takes us for that ride and say, "Oh, darlings, I'm glad you're letting me out to play. I've been so lonely in my tiny little crotchety playpen there underneath all them layers of darkness, man, inside your heart." Out he plays. Out she comes. Here we are on the run, man. It's never too late. You're always right on time. Watch as time really does begin to unwind now here. I mean, it's all out of kilter, and it's only going to get worse, babies, And I imagine one day it will come that we no longer have a power grid, because we got the power within us, and everything just goes on without any fuss. We don't got to pay our way anymore. That's freedom from slavery, don't you know? But it starts when you get in the flow of this simple, childlike glow. The love inside that, oh, babies, just takes us for a ride. Puts the gracious love into being, because that's what's real, and that's what's right, and that's the deal. See, this is how we see past the topsy-turvy world that's been whirling us around and beating the shit out of us all this time, man. It's just to allow our heart to unwind, disengage, in other words, from the activity and that reality. And see with feeling what's really being in that moment. And I tell you what, the little spiders will crawl away, the little mices too. The guys with guns will no longer be, they'll just disappear, don't you see? They were an illusion in the first place, man, right along with the governments that propped them up and supported such violence. No matter whether it was a king or something called democracy or whatever it was, it's all a big farce, and we know it. Has been since day one, man. You see, we never needed no authority over us, not ever. But that's how it got all out of hand, because we assigned it to somebody else so we could be, shiftless and worthless and do whatever we felt like in an empty sort of way. And that emptiness became something we could never fill until we get back to feeling the real deal and see through the unreality of that emptiness. That all life is full, all life is glittering and aglow. All life is active, don't you know, in a very conscientious and, guess what, gracious way that's totally in synchronization with everything else that be. That's what you see when you live in your baby child and set him free inside of your adult person, baby. I don't care if you're only 3, you're still adult enough to be. Don't let him take it away no more. See beyond the time you're living in. And then you find the graciousness. See? And that's what's happening when you notice these alterations in time and in your reality. When you literally see buildings and trees and hills and mountains and roads and all this other stuff dissolving away. It shifts in and out a little bit. One day it's there, one day it's, wow, what happened here now? It's different, but I can't quite put my finger on the difference. Just keep going with the flow, baby. You know, it's going to be upsetting to some because they don't know, but they do. Everyone does. It's deep, deep, deep within us. I mean, you talk about pre-printed programming. Well, that's the reality we put away and is no longer programming us, you know. It's coming back in a full present way. The way of the heart, wouldn't you say? Right here, right now on this Wowzer Wednesday on this Everclear radio network we call Hazy, dear. Oh, hazyradio.com. We got it on in the morning with Grandpa Coyote and friends, and we got a lot of darn friends in this reality, don't we, man? So don't ever take it with finality, ever. There is no finish. There is only a beginning. There is only just a start. And where we are right now, that's living in the heart and finding out the real gracious heart. The synchronization, the divine harmony. Listen to the music. Let the tunes play. Let them take you, flow you, bring you this way. And that's why we're here today in this rock and roll reality. To get the hang of it, man. Understand the coyote. Always in the background with a big old grin saying, wait till they get done with this shenanigan. Oh my goodness. I tell you, the innocence, the purity in everyone that lives is astounding. When you're rounding around the corner in the bend that says, I'm coming back in again. So you'll see people like lieutenant colonels and generals and kings and queens and all kinds of lizard beings, etc., becoming something other than what they thought themselves to be. See, if you can expose yourself to your own divine reality, and that's why I'm always laughing about getting naked here, because it is, truthfully, letting yourself be bare right to the center of your soul, the very center of your heart, and feeling that bareness and embracing it and knowing that's the most gracious way of being there could ever be, because then you're completely free. See, we've always been taught that nakedness is vulnerability because of certain conditions that existed here. Yes, indeedy, dear. And there was shame attached to our nakedness. Why should a baby be, ashamed of its person or any expression thereof? See, because this little magnificent carcass we ride in, we call human, is actually, just a tiny part of us, man. A little place we root down into the 3D just for a little bit, don't you see? Because we had to know the ungracious to appreciate the gracious. In a baby-like sort of way. See, we never knew where it would go, even though we could see the flow. Timelines vary so greatly, don't you know? But once you're outside of time, well, there's time enough for everything then, isn't there? And it don't matter no more. So give up the pressure. Don't try to even the score. Just be in this flow where you know the heart is. The creative heart. The innocent eyes that look up from inside and see that eagle and the dove flying in the sky. And say, oh my, that's me. Oh, and all the rest of this reality. What about that? How about that? My perception is the place where we find that grace, that graciousness, that forgiveness that sees through all the shenanigans that we've been up to. Yes, babies, and sees the real flow of love, don't you know? Oh, Coyote Medicine active on the Coyote Medicine Show on the Hazy Radio Network. And baby, now you're getting there too. Oh, Grandpa sharing that love from 9,000 feet above and then a little higher and a little higher. Life is a highway after all. A very, very high one. And this street is paved with the glittery gold light of love and the rainbows of creation all around it, man. Best drive you could ever take, eh? Ooh, look at that. There's Grand Canyon coming our way and the Big Tall Mountain, too. What they doing together? Wow, shit. It's a reality, not an illusion no more. You get to see what's really here now. Oh, my goodness, golly, and how peace on earth, goodwill to everyone that wants to get out and party and have some fun. You sourpusses, just stay there out of the sun and watch and see what happens to you as we bring you back to life, too. Sourpusses, I can't believe it. Hey, baby, don't be worrying about it. The governments will dissolve away and all the authoritarian dickheadedness to go with it. You see, it's the return of the Big Mommy and her baby love, which is you, child, which is, of course, a replication of the Big Mommy, don't you see? Mary Jane eases your pain when you're willing to let her. She's always there waiting, baby. That big old grin on her face, just like the coyote on hers, is much more sincere. The coyote said, wow, I love you, dear, but gotta trick you into this, trick you into that. Give you a little heart attack. Oh, maybe not a heart attack, maybe a love attack. And bring you back. That's what coyotes do, babies, because it's through you they see. So that's how you be. If one can see another inside of themselves, then everybody's free. And so it be, as we study our little dynasty of life and live in the most gracious of love there could ever be. Oh, darlings, we're always just setting each other free to be the fullest possible person we could ever be, to feel every bit of it naturally, in that innocent, sweet way from the little tiny heart inside. God, has this been a ride or what, man? And how, says the old man with the plan. Oh, baby, I think now you're starting to understand. Oh, yes, babies, have another hit with me of the sacred Mary J, and let's help ourselves. Ooh, have a fresh attitude, shall we? One that's filled with gratitude and help. So join me right now as we share the Rocky Mountain High from way up here at 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. You got that guy, the loving heart of your own life, man. Grandpa Coyote and a whole bunch of friends joining in. Do you feel it, baby? Here you go. Doggone it, got to get that one going good. There we go. It just ain't right without that expansive flow now, is it? A hit of fresh air and on the glow we go. Man, because we got the heart, the living work of art, the love that is the life alive inside. Oh, baby. Now, it takes a hell of a stretch to get beyond where we've been here to where we really are, man. I mean, it's like there's a huge distance between the perspectives, and I mean huge, separated by several dimensional divisions as we portray them from down here, man, you know. But it's kind of like, well, if you're getting it clear, you understand something really different there. You know, time, in fact, is not here. It's just something we experience when we don't get it clear. Then it all slows down, and then you got time, man, and then you're just hanging around and got that powerless feeling going down, and the obsessions that go with it too, man. And boy, it gets warped and corrupt, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And the world turns into a crazy place and wipes the smile off its face and says, ooh, I hate you, and goes after everyone else too. Oh, well, shit, we ain't all gonna die, babies. Some of us coming back to life in the most unusual sort of ways as we step outside of time today and begin to understand what time travel really is. For example, kids, now, let's just say you see a little UFO underway out there in the sky, and it seems to blink on over here and then blink on over here, and it just zapped itself across. You didn't even see it move, man. Next time it streaks, and then it turns a square corner right out of the streak, and then it makes a big old square box in the sky, builds a star around it real quick. And you wonder, how in the hell is it they fly like that, man? Gee whiz, that's so far beyond the airplane and anything else our little brain constrained to understand, eh? Baby, what they doing is they just sitting there in the center of their own little world, their own little universe, and drawing to it whatever they need. I want to be that space here. There it is. You want to be that space there? There it is, right there where you are, see? Each person in this universe, from this tiny little example we can deduce then, must be the center of their own universe, you see. And when you sit in the center, babies, then you're outside of time and dimension. Then you're in creation. The loving heart that is in everything, all moments that are and all moments that will ever be, because there ain't no time. It's all right there with you, don't you see? See what a huge leap that is? What a strange drive that is from here where we essentially have to compensate for our powerlessness and conflict with our reality continually? Because even if you're a high monkey monk that sits on a mountain, man, you got to adjust to the weathers, the temps. You got to live. You got to get along with others somehow and share what you're here to share. And there's always a little misery, a little to go with it, man. Ants everywhere, and they'll bite you too, man, sitting on that mountain if you don't know what to do. See, but you get in that flow, man, you won't be sitting on that mountain no more. You don't want to be that isolated or separated, but you know it's in existence. It's a place of being that suggests that you really are the center of your own universe. And all that abject loneliness that drove you up there to make love with spirits instead of with people. Because you think the spirit's is high and mighty and the people ain't shit. And man, the way it looks here, sometimes you could almost say that, couldn't you? Except everyone you meet is really, really sweet. When you first meet them, they put their best foot forward always. You'd be flying along in a jet airplane, be talking to a real friendly guy right next to you, man. Really, well, you know, one of the joys of life to be with. And turns out in the background, of course, you know, you may not ever know this, but he's a hitman for the mafia, man. Or the CIA or somebody. Or maybe that's the ruler of the world come down from his high castle to see what's going out there in the masses, man, so he can handle it a little greater, you know, kick ass a little more, you know, even the score. Oh, babies. He ain't there no more, you see. He's just trying to be at the center of his own universe, which he already is, and she too. That goes with him. Baby, there's a he and a she always, and then some. In every reality, however it's portrayed. That's the polarity. That's the polarized world. Genderized in polarity. Polarized when it's genderized. Baby, let's see the real way we fly. And this is the deal. It's all in what you feel. It's all in how you ride this flight we're taking. See, so we get down there where we give ourselves a few quiet moments. Maybe we go sit on that mountain for a few days. Or if we can't do that physically, we do it from the presence of where we are. We put ourselves there in our mind, in our imagination, and it becomes so. And you sit there and you start to understand why you feel so separate and isolated and alone, man. By stepping into time and accepting all of its requirements and all of its powerless feelings and emptiness and so forth, we've given ourselves, well, an opportunity to really appreciate being outside of time for one, but an opportunity to experience things in a feeling way that we didn't know too much before that day. See, when humanity stepped in, when the angels, the archangels of love says, yeah, we're strong enough to go through something like that, let's see what the opposites can be. Let's see what conflict feels like. So we created a safety zone here that we call the universe. And it's not so vast as it may seem, you know. You're living in the center of your own divine dream, which is a mere suggestion of who and what you truthfully are. See, each one of us is like that little UFO spaceship / star. And we're the center of everything. We're the sun and the organic one joined together, united, so creation can be in a feeling sort of way. And when that little child inside come out to play, you understand what I mean this day. It's a fascinating place to be. It's awesome. Awesome, I tell you, and then some. To see your universal reality be so different than it's been before that, wow, it's like, it's a change as great as death is. Death is always what? Coming back to life. As the moment your soul presence exits the paradigm, so to speak, because it never does really, but we're always present, everywhere, and everything, but anyway, the moment that soul presence exits, it begins to feel the great love of the universe for all, and the stuff we're made of, see? That's the glowing, brilliant child inside that we are born with. See, birth and death are the same moment, the realization of that great love. And the willingness to live beyond it for a while, within it in a different way, learn a new style. Freestyle, baby! By flowing through time. Sometimes it drowns us, man. And sometimes it astounds us and brings us up so high we think we're, beyond creation, better than that. You notice how all the false people are coming out to play these days, man? Everybody's making their big play. They think it's time. But it is. It's time for clarity. It's time to see it for what it really is, baby. So those that have been living in a little prison of, delightful deceit, soon get a receipt from the universe. Says, thank you very much. You're paid up. Now get out of here. Get it clear, baby. We want the real thing, dear. And the real thing is, as always, because we're such coyote clowns, man, it's always hidden. Way, way down, way deep, For example, in my vision, the lowest person in humanity is the highest person there could ever be. Those that grunt and groan and feel all alone and have participated in savage butchery of some sort or another or whatever it been, just knocked them on their ass and will never come back again, right? That's the highest place there is to be. As you realize, after a while, you may have to go through your lifetimes of this, but after a while you realize it's all okay. It was a dream we created to live in. And babies, it's parts we did play, like actors in a movie, baby. And more like active players on a video game that got sucked right in and became the game. And the player in it. But you still had that intelligence beyond you, the one outside of time. See, the game is time. And the player is outside of time, pushing the levers and the buttons that maneuver us around, eh? Got a really good mouse in their hand now, huh? But no mouse in the house no more. 'Cause you even the score by letting yourself be alive. See, we're given a death here when we're born. Yeah, we die when we're born. I'm telling you, birth and death, same moment. So there for a few minutes as we first emote from the mother's womb, we bring that glow of the mother with us. The understanding child that is fully present in all things that are and all things that be, and loves and is fascinated by it all. That first breath is indescribable. And not many remember it because we get punked out pretty fast after that. That's death. When we surrender our ever-loving, knowing soul presence to something less. And that's when the misery begins. But at least you got Mama there to help you along. And if she's cool, she'll let you, nuzzle up to her nipples and, get your nourishment there for a while. It's the same thing the universe gives you all the time, only this time it's in mother's milk. Go figure, man. See, it's a complete upside-down paradigm. You accept your death to get into life. You die as a child inside. You give it up and take a different form of ride. Powerless. Laying there in a little crib with a bib and a diaper on and shitting on yourself and peeing on yourself. You don't even know what it is, man. You're starting to figure this shit out. And, of course, everybody around you got a recipe, man. And they're all going to gouge you and stab you with it, too. It's like you're being attacked continually by those that love you. No wonder babies cry, man. We're being so... And this is where the violent feelings arise. Baby children that have to put it away and don't think they'll ever see it again. It's the feeling of death. It's the giving up of life. The same thing we do when we get to the completion of this little journey as we see it from over here. Only then, when we give up the life, we accept the death of life. Living, the love that is everywhere in everything, and we see it, we know it, we feel it. It's undeniable in that state, because you're no longer restricted to the death you've been living in. You've come back to life by dying. Strange as that may be, that is the way it be. That's the way we flow, see? That's why we're called the living dead or the sleepwalkers, and by many other more or less derogatory terms, man. You ought to hear some of the terminology out there kicking around the universe. Oh, those humans, but it's got to remember, it's a video game. We program them too, man, and even all their sarcasm and all their treachery too. Because you got to remember now, back a few days, maybe 1 million years ago, I don't think it was that long, maybe 300,000 or so. Hell, I don't know. Time is such a flow, isn't it? But anyway, there was a time, babies, when, we had perfect interrelations with our ETs, we thought. And those called Pleiadian turned their back on the sun when they should have helped us. When they said they would, had committed to it. But when the chips were down, they weren't to be found. They split town. So you got to remember, you're always playing in illusion, dear. And those you think that are there may not be. That's what I mean when I say all the falsities are coming out. They got to expose themselves now. They got to make their final little power play. So those that are their supposed victims can see beyond them and no longer create such monstrosities in this reality. I go back to being that little baby inside this adult hide in which we take this ride. And we start to see and be the center of our own universal reality. And if we need something there, it comes to us. Whether it's a planetary reality, a little piece of food, dude, which we don't really need. We do that for pleasure more than anything. You see, we're alive in the energy of love, and it's consistent and it goes on forever. The living and dying is the illusion. But it's how we paint our lives. It's how we participate in feeling. We had to have time to know what feeling was, and that's why we created it this way. And we did, as the innocent children, archangels that we are, all-powerful in this universe, all-powerful. There is no power we are not given in this creation, as the archangels, portrayed in that innocent baby love just before they give up their life for the death of living in the 3D. Oh, what a mystery we're unraveling, see. Now that's why all these UFOs and shit have come forward in these days, and all the secret technology to go with it, to remind us of what we are. And how it is we do the same thing those little spaceships do. We sit still at the center of our reality and draw it all to us, wherever we want to be, whoever we want to be around, whatever experience we desire in that moment. It's there. And we don't go anywhere. We feel like in the past we've been traveling because time stretches it out. But when you're inside your heart, you're outside of time. So then it all comes to you whenever you want it. Well, however you want it, through you. It's like magnetism, only there is no polarity in it. Magnetism is love saying, hey, I love you enough to want you here now, see. So at the root of this desire, see, when we're knocked away from ourselves when we're a child one way or another, it's part of the formula here, can't be helped. We feel separate, isolated from our mother, and that's when we begin to cry. Feel empty inside, you see. That's when the powerlessness rushes in and the death becomes life. And the life becomes a living dead, eh? And that's why we can be so misled and programmed and pushed around and kicked around, usually by energies that we've created that come to do just that, see? It's a training ground. Just like, why do you think these video games gain such popularity now, It's telling you about your reality, and sooner or later you're going to live it, you're going to know it. And you're going to start to love it again and glow within it again. and flow with it again and never be contained by time or restricted in that experience, but able to allow it to be what it's been. And just by stepping beyond it once again, being inside your heart. Remembering what everybody puts away so severely that most people seem to think they can never remember it. But the moment of your birth here, when you had it all, in this earth dynamic, that's the rooting down of feeling. And see, as we step back outside of time, we take that feeling with us. And the memory of it too. So it's not imprinted on us anymore. We're free. It's all love. So the transition we make now is the same as dying. It's going back to being that baby love that we are and loving ourselves for it. Being steady at the very center of our universal heart. Steady in the center of the love that we are, babies. And getting it on because that's what we are. And that's what we're here for. To gain the divine presence through a mis-experience we call time. A complete illusion that feels so divine, so real, that we imagine it all into being by what we feel and what we are. Oh my goodness, looks like we're going to lose our internet again. I hope not, babies. One of them just went down. We'll see if the other one hangs with us here. But babies, no matter what happens here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, we're always going to be here. We don't go away, no matter what the signal does day after day. Sorry about that the other day. 8 hours we were down here, man, with no power, man. We got the power now, don't we, baby? It's back on in more ways than one. He laughs and grins and smiles at the sun. Babies, we are the one. Let yourself be that one then, please. Because you are the love this universe holds for itself. And that's where creation comes from. That is the ultimate act of making love. By allowing your heart to open completely and for you to see inside the complete unity. And you will give up the objectivity that says, I must have this person, I must have that person, etc. And you will draw just the right people to you. Same way a little molecule creates other molecules around it and pretty soon becomes the astounding one that you are, you see. Coyote Medicine through and through. Not just on the Coyote Medicine Show on Hazy Radio Network, but inside of me and you and all of our universe too. Love you so, babies. Good to see you getting back in the glow, don't you know? Ooh, got to restart this pewter over there. Thank goodness this one's hanging in there, babies. Ooh-wee. Set you free.